Yes, dear students, in this video we will summarize the difference between vector and scalar quantities because we have already seen the vector and scalar quantities, and I have given the example of vector and scalar quantity in previous video. Now come to vector quantity. Earlier we have seen in definition it has magnitude and direction. Example I have given, Ram moves 5 meter per second eastward. Here it has the magnitude, how much? 5 meter per second, and the direction is eastward. Therefore it becomes velocity, and I already told that velocity is the vector quantity. Now scalar, it has only magnitude. Suppose Ram moves with 5 meter per second. In this example it does not show any direction, therefore it becomes speed, and speed is scalar quantity. Now come to second one. It is the essential condition for a quantity to be vector quantity. It follows the law of vector addition. Here a person moves 4 meter eastward and then turns left and moves 3 meter. Now it has the displacement, and displacement is the vector quantity because it has also the angle, and we are taking the consideration of angle. Now the shortest path is here from this point to this point, and you see that it is right angle triangle. So the length of this one hypotenuse is under root 4 square plus 3 square, that is under root 25, and it becomes 5 meter. It follows the arithmetic addition only. Suppose a person is moving for 4 meter and then turns 3 meter, so it is 4 plus 3, that is 7 meter. In this case it becomes distance. In this case, in the case of vector quantity, it becomes displacement. Now I already told that the vector quantity has magnitude and direction. In case of vector quantity, it has the direction, therefore it can be denoted by positive and negative sign. Okay, because the positive or negative sign shows the direction. Suppose a boy moves with minus 5 meter per second. Here boy is moving with a speed of minus 5 magnitude 5 meter per second, and it has the direction that is negative. It can be either negative x-axis or negative y-axis. Now in this case it has only positive sign, and it has also the exception, that is temperature. Temperature can have the scale of positive and negative sign. Suppose minus 40 degrees Celsius plus 40 degrees Celsius, so it is one of the exception. Now in the case of vector quantities there are also some exceptions. It has written here, it has the magnitude and direction. In the case of current, it has the direction, it moves from higher potential to lower potential, but it is considered as the scalar quantity because it does not follow the law of vector addition. This is the essential condition. It does not follow the law of vector addition. Again I have told that a vector quantity has magnitude, but it is not always true. There are some examples of the vector quantity which does not have any magnitude, and those vector quantities are known as null vector. For example, a lot of forces are equal and opposite forces are acting on the body. The sum of all the forces becomes 0, and all of you know that force is the vector quantity and sum of all forces are 0. Therefore the magnitude is 0, but it has some direction. Okay, suppose a body is moving with constant velocity. In that case the acceleration becomes 0. Acceleration becomes 0, but the direction is there. Okay, so in this case the acceleration becomes null vector. Now come to the concept of rest and motion. The rest means the body is not changing its position. Here the definition is given here. A body is said to be at rest when there is no change in position with change in time. Here time is changing, but the position of the body remains same. So it is said to be that the body is at rest. Motion, that is change of position with time. Here very simple definitions are there, but the major problem is that for these two concepts there is the reference frame, that is the essential condition, and it is essential concept for this. Here rest or motion depends on this reference frame. I have already written one example I am giving. From that I hope that it will be cleared. Here three boys are there, boy A, boy B and boy C. Boy C is standing on the ground and boy B and boy A are moving in same direction with a speed of 5 meter per second. Now try to understand. Boy C is at ground and boy B and boy A are moving with 5 meter per second. If the boy C is observing both these boys will appear to be in motion with a, because both are moving with a speed of 5 meter per second. Now if boy B observes boy A, then boy A appears to be at rest for boy B. Why? Their directions are same and the speed, relative speed becomes 0. So for boy A, for boy B is at rest. Again, if boy A observes boy C, it is moving in this direction, then boy C appears to move with respect to boy A with a speed of minus 5 meter per second while it is at rest. But for boy A, it is in motion with a speed of minus 5 meter per second. So this rest and motions are the relative term depending upon the reference frame. In the case of object also, there is point object and extended object. Suppose if you comparing one object with other, if the one object is very large, then another object appears to be the point object if it is small. So it also depends upon the reference. Here the example is a football on the ground. If you compare the football with respect to ground, then football is the point object. Okay, if you compare the ground with respect to the